Generation of Success together. Always shouting out Nick, Raw Cannon, all the cannons, my brother Mile, the exec, my brother Mark, Stan. Like I could go on, Duke. Shout out to all the Wiz with we in this thing with this basketball. Young folks is texting me 7 o'clock in the morning about being on the squad. I'm real excited about that. So I got a young man here today. I didn't actually invite him. Somebody sent him up here. So I guess since he's a young person, I gotta acquiesce to the request. Get your ass up here. Sit down somewhere, please. Put your headphones on. This is how you gotta talk to this little young man right here. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you don't gotta talk to him like that. He get in his bag, but he a good young boy. He do what young boys do. They got a lot of energy. Can you hear? Can you hear? Now, don't get all quiet. Yes. You don't even talk like that normally. Move up to the mic, bro. Move up to the mic so they can hear you. We need the content. You know what I'm saying? So, before we get into that, before we get into this young man, he tells you who he is, why he's here. What's that on your chin, man? You on camera, bro. You ain't look in the mirror in the bathroom or nothing. This is wild, man. We gotta get these young folks together, man. It's like, nah. But what the first thing I want to say, just on a personal note, you know what I'm saying? I really gotta tap into just being a love ball, man. Cause listening to R&B makes me feel better. I can't listen. I'm trying to tell you, man. My brother told shout out to Stan, man. So, I was going through a little something, and we all go through shit. It's ups and downs in life, you know what I mean? Like I always try to say, you gotta try to balance it out. You gotta try to get your wavelength on the high side. And what I mean by that is, you ever watch wavelengths frequency and you see how it's that line for the zero, and then you in the positive and you go into the negative, but you can move a wavelength up so your ups and downs stay on the positive side. So it'll be like you going through some stuff, but if you really look at your life overall, your life is good. You in a good space. Not even comparing to other people, but that is one of the litmus tests to see what like your life, how good your life is. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times we be immersed in a lot of other people's energies being around us. And when I say energy, just our folks that are struggling in a very serious way. And it's not, it's one of those things like when I was upstate, and I've said this a lot of times, but this is one of my ways of staying balanced, is like, okay, a brother come doing 5 years. I'm doing 20. That brother only can wrap his head around 5 years. So what's going on in him in that 5 years, only he can really tell you how much it hurts. You can't, or it harm, or not. You, because you doing what you're doing, me in particular, because I'm doing 20, I can't look at this man and say he shouldn't be depressed because he's in here, even though we want to always work through depression and find ways not to be depressed and put that trauma on yourself. But you don't know what's going on in this man's life with this 5 years. If he's a young man, he doesn't have the forethought. He's not introspective enough to say, I can do this 5, I'm going to get better, get stronger, become more mature. Because then a thing that I take into consideration now that I didn't take into consideration as much, I was aware, but not as aware as I am now, working in the field that I work in, that frontal lobe thing is serious. So if you sending young men to state penitentiaries, prisons, sending them to the plantation at 18, 19, 20 years old, they don't know how to act. They don't know what to do. They haven't gotten any training. They ain't have no rites of passage. No, but they probably just been out moving around, doing whatever, and now you stick them on this plantation. And they going to act however they going to act because the plantation doesn't put any true rites of passage. The rites of passage that you get and once you come through classification ain't a real thing. And it's developing you. It is developing you into something other than becoming a man. Whatever that may be, it's not a man. So, with that being said, and you could take into consideration cats who were in relationships, cats who were close to their family, cats who, you know, had a certain level of money or didn't have. Like, all of these things are changing when you get locked up. All of it, everything. It's nothing going to stay the same. Nothing. Soon as you come through that gate and they tell you, boom, this is where you're going to be, everything has changed, man. And we try to maintain stuff to keep it the same, but it's no way, because you're not there. You're not in the midst of it, good or bad. So with that being said, I can't tell a man who doing 5 years, as cats upstate would try to do, you try to minimize that man's experience because your experience is different. And different meaning you got more time to do. So by doing that, you try to minimize that man. You know, you want that man to acquiesce to certain things that they shouldn't have to. Because they sent me and you here. I didn't make you come, you didn't make me come here. So one of those, I really start recognizing that I got to stand in my own situation and deal with my own situation and make sure that I'm good. Don't compare it necessarily to what another man has going on, because you don't know what that's doing to that person. One person can go through a certain stress that another person go through, and their responses to it is completely different. That don't mean that they didn't go through that stress, or that stress should be minimized, or the stress should be made, you know, bigger than what it is. It's a balance that we got to find. Maya, you know what I'm saying? Maya is very important. Order, balance, truth, justice, harmony, reciprocity, propriety, sobriety. You know, it's different ways. Like reciprocity, another way you could say that is respect. So when I'm watching what's going on in my own life, and I can compare it, but not make it the same as what other people are going on. So if it's like somebody struggling with housing and I'm not struggling with housing, I have to take account. I may be having a relationship issue, whether it be with a brother that we are friends, we're brothers, we're family, a woman who we're friends, we family, we in a romantic relationship, my actual blood relatives, people that I work with. I may be having things going on to various degrees with them that cause stress. But I'm looking at the stress of that relationship stress versus the stress of being housing insecure. And I have to balance that out and say, okay, I'm having issues with people, but I have somewhere to lay my head every night. I can go here and find solace in my house to not have to deal with those people. Not have people in my business because I'm exposed by not having nowhere to stay, or because I don't have somewhere to stay and I'm staying with somebody else, I'm exposed. I have to deal with whatever I'm dealing with and they stuff. And it's coming from a standpoint where I don't have a whole lot of stake in ownership. So me saying that I'm going through something in a relationship, whatever that relationship is, I have to compare that properly and say, okay, I could have that stress. And let me be honest about that within myself and deal with myself. Like, check yourself. Don't negate what you're going through, because different things affect people differently. But I'm just talking about that nuts and bolts. It's like somebody losing a job and not having a way to make income versus somebody struggling with a job that they have, but the income is coming in. Those are two, they both are struggles, but I mean, being honest and finding balance in that for myself, I understand, I'd rather be struggling making money than struggling because I'm not making no money at all. You know what I mean? So I continuously, you know, pro and con my situation. I pro and con relationships. I think about how I'm showing up in a relationship versus how another person's showing up. And then that opens up, you know, well, what is showing up to you? What is showing up to that person? Do y'all even see each other in those moments? It's a lot of layers to it, you know, but I feel like we go through so much stress that we just feel like that's what's up all the time. So we'll make things that are not that stressful, even though people deal with things differently. But like I said, we have to be honest about that. You know, if we have the critical thought to be honest about it, because that's an issue too. So when I say When I say you have to look at your situation, you have to be critical about your situation and say, okay, I could not have any money coming in at all. It's a struggle. I have to deal with some things I don't want to, but I got money coming in versus the person who has nothing coming in at all. And that's the struggle. Those are two different struggles. They can seem the same because of the way you respond to them, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? So I've been looking and I've been paying attention, and I said, okay, one, for a minute, I wasn't listening to music the way I normally listen to music. And that's something that balances me out. I find harmony in my life in that. You know, it just makes me happy. And I'm not unique. A lot of music make people happy, period. You know what I mean? Music creates dopamines, like getting high, like sex, you know, like laughter. You know, that those dopamines go up that make you, you know what I mean? Like you feel good. You know, we do the synthetic thing with the drugs and stuff like that. And that just be more of escapism than the actual, because your body is like working out. Those dopamines, you start feeling high after a workout. You feel really good because you did something great for your body, and your body is responding with a high. You know what I mean? So I try to always be balanced. You know, you could be retrospective and look back on situations to make sure that you are moving forward properly in your present. And you could be introspective and being, you know, it's the vision. It's looking to what's better, what can be better, how can you make it better? How do you put yourself in these situations that can give you a great life? Defining what a great life is. Like, you know, everything goes into more questions. Asking why is the greatest thing about being human when we think about thought. Continue to ask why. Question. You know, don't question just to be an asshole and get on people's nerves. Question so you can really get some understanding on things. So I question a lot of things about myself in moments. Different moments that I have going through. Are you doing this correctly? How are you being viewed? Is what you're doing being perceived correctly? Or is there something wrong with the person and their perception of you? Is it somewhere to meet in the middle? It's like you just got to keep asking questions and walk through life like that every day. But try to figure them out. Don't just be like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. This how I am. All of that type stuff. That's leaving you in stagnation, and your stress levels are going to continue to be high. So for me, again, music is a real thing. Music got me through a lot of years, and it wasn't hip hop. I love hip hop. I listen to all types of hip hop. I listen to hip hop for the art. I don't care about who's real and all that, because at this point it's entertainment. It ain't really necessarily art. But I still look into that entertainment for the art of it. I still like lyrics. You know, I like actual lyrics. I like when dudes can tell a good story, a detailed story, and play with the words in that way. I like when dudes can just be fun and just play with words. Words that they know, you know what I mean? They just put in metaphors and similes and double entendres and all of this stuff together just to show you that they have a command of the English language or whatever language. I'm still looking at it for that. You, the person, I don't get so much into that anymore. I understand that's what this thing has become, because everything has turned into extreme reality TV because of social media, and clout is the money. However you get the clout, whatever you show up and do. But I try to make sure that I keep it to the art. You know what I'm saying? I'm still breaking down beats and stuff. Like, damn, did you hear the cymbal in that joint? You see where that joint dropped at? Like, it's a critical thought of everything. And music is no different from me, even though I do listen to it for entertainment, but more for art, because I still like actual hip hop. Dudes who can rap. I know we turned this thing into the like talk shit hour. And if you could say the slickest line, that started replacing intricate, bars. And sometimes that make you hot, that make you hot. Like, a person could say something that's not so complicated, but it's to the point, but it's like, damn, that shit was hard. And if you really love hip hop, and you into hip hop, and I think we should get back into like explaining what what that is, man, is like being a great spoken word artist or songwriter, or like it's always going to be some level of entertainment value that pulls you in. But I'm still into one of the best ways to explain, like the Nas of it. I could still listen to Rakim and understand, like when Rakim came out, he changed hip hop. His rhyme patterns, who yoing me? His rhyme patterns changed hip hop. How he was putting the words together, how many words he was putting in a bar. You know what I mean? When people kind of say we went from the Cat in the Hat to like dudes just really start changing how these words came out, the pace of it, how fast, how much you could put in a bar. So I'm still into that. Like, is it and what you saying? Like, I'm more lean towards conscious stuff, real life stuff. What's really going on with folks. And that's a slippery slope when you get big on it, because it becomes this thing where you start off conscious, but because capitalism commercializes everything, even people, you start hearing these dudes don't have a lot to say but about money. Now, sometimes it becomes a little deeper understanding of what money can do to you, but I think a lot of times they use that as an excuse not to be so conscious anymore. And at the end of the day, we all trying to win the lottery. That's how they created it. That's the mindset we got. So it's like you have those people who are defending the fuckery by saying he got money, she got money, they could buy nice things now, but there's no substance there. So they're not really going to do nothing with that money but keep this shit going on in the fucked up way that it's going on. And the funny thing about winning the lottery is a lot of people don't win the lottery. It's a one-off. And we all chase that one person to win the lottery. So you would be much better off really getting it down to the nuts and bolts of a thing and building some foundation, taking some time, putting some hard work in, and dedicating yourself to something that'll be fruitful way longer than trying to win the lottery. Because normally winning the lottery leads to loss. Watch the John. I love watching this, John. Excuse me, I haven't watched it in a while, but how the lottery ruined my life. Like how 400 million can ruin your life. But if you go back and listen to some early Mike Tyson interviews, Mike Tyson said a tragedy, I think that's the word he used, is giving a 19-year-old $200 million. See, on his face, it sounds amazing. But then I go back to what I said earlier. The motherfucker frontal lobe ain't even developed. And he got 200 million. He don't got no financial literacy. He don't know who his friends are. He don't know how to have a relationship. He don't know what a relationship look like. He come from having nothing. He's not a critical thinker. What you think he gonna do with that? Buy Lions and 7-8 Benzes. And it's when you feel like it was some generational wealth, it wasn't. Mike had to almost turn himself into a buffoon at the end to get the money back, to get some money back. Because he never was like broke, but he was broke. And it was a very poor example of what to do with money. And cats watched it. Because they just looked at Mike as Mike, oh man, Mike blew up. Mike had everything. Mike with this, Mike with, you know what I'm saying? And then went away from boxing. But I say that to say, like, we have that win the lottery culture, man. We be chasing a dream, the get rich quick schemes and all of that good stuff, the drug lives and all of the short-term thinker shit. I think that might be even better way to think, to say it. They have us on short-term thinking. To the point where people don't really want to do the work in, because culturally it's just not something that makes sense. It's not something that's being promoted. They think it's like, boom, I'm here, I'm present, let me get it right now. And it's like, what did you do to deserve it? Because that's a real thing. Putting work in, work ethic to deserve a thing. So that's one of the things that I wanted to put out there. And I wanted to put it out there only because music definitely makes me feel better, but it's not rap. I think in R&B. R&B makes me smile. I've been listening to Raheem Devon, You, and Guess Who Loves You More for like 2 days on loop. Got a motherfucker smiling like a motherfucker. Like, And all he doing is talking about loving on a black woman, man. And this was make me smile. Versus listening to Griselda, even though that's my shit. Cause for all intents and purposes, air quotations, they're real. But you know how this world go. The right person come from jail or from the feds and get the microphone and tell you that these boys is none of who they is. So I don't know if that's gonna happen. But as far as I understand now, these boys are real. But just so happen they real and these boys really can rap. They really hip hop boys. They like drug dealing backpackers for real. Cause that is an actual thing that existed. I remember living that life. Straight backpack hip hop, but I'm out here selling drugs, carrying a gun. Listen to LaFly Scorch Guy. Look it up if you don't know what that is. Hip hop shit. You feel me? So listening to them though, they talking to, the drug shit, the shoot shit, the street shit. All the fuckery. All the good lies that made us think that we were men. Doing all the fucked up shit. And there's a lot of us still standing on that shit like we men because of it. Because of what you did to black people. You want to be recognized and given your props for what you did to black people. Like that makes you, we just need to read that. I'm going to have a show on that. Like all us brothers out here that came from where we came from and did this shit, stop standing on that shit like that shit really is what it is, because what you standing on is hurting black people. Stealing from black people, robbing black people. Keeping our situation even more fucked up. And then now with spaces where we can acknowledge and we can talk about those things in a healing way, and we still standing on that shit like it makes us the men that we are, and that shit is false and faulty. Because when you get to the core, why you saying you who you are and what makes you somebody that needs to be recognized in this room or any room is because of some fucked up shit that we did to black people. So we just need to reevaluate that one. What is the evolution from that? That's the thing that got you, to be able to speak in a real way about some things because we experienced it. But standing on that is what you want to be respected for in those rooms instead of making it into healing and evolving. And what did that experience take you to now? That's the part we should be talking about. Stop hanging on that old shit, because all that old shit really was is us fucking our people up, and why we are here right now trying to fix it and heal it. So I don't really want to be I don't want to be known for that. I don't want to be known for fucking up black people. That's not what I want to be known for. It's a part of my existence. I've been there, I did it, and now I'm trying to transform that shit. So we gonna move on, but again, Love Ball, R&B music makes me feel better. Particularly neo soul, like 90s neo soul type stuff. I'm not like a heavy, just straight R&B boy. Like I ain't like Silk. I'm not a Silk fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a High Five fan. I'm not. Jodeci was a fad to me. Like they got a couple songs, but that's not something I'm throwing on when I'm, you mean? Like, it's going to be, do you got sleep apnea, bro? No. Because I can hear you breathing in my ear. You too young to be snoring and you're woke. Are you okay? Yeah. You need some water? All right. Well, we about to get to you, too. So, and all the other young people that I've had on here, I have to, like, warm them up to talk. Like, he seems like he's going to be ready to talk. Are you ready to talk? What are you looking at like that, bro? Sometimes me and him gotta go through some stuff. I know this little brother. I got a little history with him. You probably knew him for probably like 2 years now. I think it seems longer. Because he's one of those kids that if he's been around you, it seems longer. You know what I'm saying? But I love him, you know what I'm saying? It's so many little ones that be popping in and out, man. My experience on Broad Street has been dope for that because of like little dudes like him. When he see me, he know me, and he know that I care about him. Like I don't doubt that. Now they talk they little ish because they little, they go through whatever they be going through. But I think he know when he see me, like, okay, that's a safe person, that's a safe space, and I take pride in that. Wherever he see me at, like jump right in the wheel, not because he just a kid that just be out here, because he be out here. The little dude be out here, and that's what we try and get together. But he know where it's safe at, and I appreciate the fact that I've done what I was supposed to do for him to know that. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said, check out, if you don't know who Raheem Devon is, look him up and listen to a song called You. He has another song called Guess Who Loves You More. Dope as shit. He got another song called Believe. I got to put that on. That just popped in my head. I got to add that to my Raheem Devon. And I'm one of them people who will listen to something over and over again if it catches me, if I'm in that feeling. It might annoy some people. I don't care. Because if you hear me listening to it a couple times, you're in my space. So I don't care if you don't like it. You can get out of my space. Yes. Bro, you got sleep apnea, bro. We got to go get you a sleep test or something. Can y'all hear this? Y'all hear this guy? So, all right. Before I go into another diatribe, let people know who you are. Who are you?
Ransom.
Bro, speak into the microphone. Thank you.
My name is Ransom
Okay.
Williams.
Williams? Your last name Williams, bro?
Yes.
Man, I got some cousins and stuff named Williams and all that. My grandmama and them is Williams, actually. But I don't think we related though. I met your mom and I think I met your dad before too. I met your dad. Yeah, I definitely met your dad too. Yeah, I met your dad a couple times. Now I think about it, because I also met your uncle. He came around. That's what I was thinking about just now. So why are you here? Why are you on my show today?
Because I was sitting here by my mom.
You was sitting here what? Talking to the mic, bro.
No, because I was sitting here by my mom.
Oh, you was sent here by your mom. Oh, he was sent here by his mom. See, his mom knows. She's been around. She's seen us. She see the stuff that we do. So, we going to do the basketball thing today. How old are you, Ransom?
11.
You're only because I know you, and I have a relationship with you, that you will be allowed to be on the team. But if you do anything that's outside of the norms of this basketball league, you're out of here. Because you're actually too young. But you my man, so I'm going to let you ride out. I'm going to let you get on. And you better be working hard, bro. I don't want to see no lazy stuff, no nothing. And when somebody tell you to do something, what you going to do?
Do
it. Exactly. You see how quick that came out? Do it. Because he want to play ball. He had a basketball and everything. I don't even know if Ransom really can play. I never seen him on a hoop court. Can you play?
Kinda.
Kinda. I respect that honesty. He didn't talk and he traced that. Kinda. Do you want to get better?
Yeah.
All right. So that's another key thing about, the Chef with the Rock League. Our main thing is helping the young folks get better. We gonna be hooping crazy. We gonna be running against other teams. It's going to grow. It's going to be big. We're going to teach life lessons. We do circles. There's going to be a certain restorative, transformative justice aspect to it. We already got the young folks when we start off doing circles. The talking piece is the basketball. I was very pleasantly surprised. Not that young folks don't talk. Because I don't believe, because I've been around young people and working with them, I don't believe none of the stuff that people my age be saying about these kids in schools or nothing. Because when I be dealing with them, you get something different if you try to give them something different. And first of all, just show them that you care about them, you love them. You're not looking at them like a little nigga, these little badass kids. And then the whole thing with the parents, I'm burnt out on that too, because we all supposed to be their parents. When I deal with this young man, I deal with him like he's my son. I can't do all of those things that I would be able to do with my son because he's not actually biological. But when he's around me, who that? Word, I appreciate that. I appreciate you so much. So I always want to move around young folks as if, I was an uncle or I was a father of theirs with the same level of protection, love, trying to teach them a skill set, bring up their confidence, their competence, show them compassion, have empathy because I want them to be able to do that to somebody at some point as well. And I want them to remember what was done for them. It ain't a whole bunch of folks, but it can be a lot more of us doing these things. And we want to make sure that these children know that they're loved and they're cared for. Is it irritating at times? Yes. Is it frustrating? Yes, it is. It can be. And you can't always do all the things you want to do because they're not your children. And then sometimes you're tasked to do things you don't really want to do because they're not your children. But you got to find that balance again, that harmony, that order. Like I said, Maya is a very big thing. Look it up. MAAT, Unk Theology. While we on that, look up Black Liberation Theology. So, what position do you plan on playing on the basketball court?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I never played a basketball team before.
So you play free rec ball. You just be at the gym or in the playground. All right. So you're 11. I don't know. You could go through a crazy growth spurt, but right now you seem like the other 11-year-olds I've seen. You're not short, but you probably like a guard, small forward, something like that. You're definitely not a power forward or a center. So you moved from uptown. You spent a lot of time in North Philly. Now you're in West Philly. What part of the city do you enjoy out of those three?
I'll say North Philly.
North Philly. So why do you enjoy North Philly more than West Philly and uptown?
I would say because it's like fun around North Philly. You get to play basketball most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And West Philly is like a lot of people fighting at the park and stuff. So I'll be over there. So I'll be in North Philly playing basketball and stuff.
Oh, so you feel like when you come outside, North Philly has a lot more to offer you, and it's a little safer. Do you feel like North Philly is safer because you know all the places to go, or it's just safer?
Know all the places to go.
Okay. So West Philly, you still trying to learn West Philly. You never lived in West Philly before. You don't really have no family or nothing in West Philly, right? So all right, I get it. So North Philly is more familiar. In West Philly, you still learn in West Philly. Oh, okay. So how has school been?
Good.
How are your grades? You talking about good. Are your grades good?
Yeah.
Are you lying to me?
Not lying.
All right, so if I ask your mom, she gonna show good grades? All right. Can I be seeing your mom too? I be seeing them up 52nd Street and all that. Because I be in West Philly a lot. Yep. So and your aunt. I be seeing your aunt too. Even though at first I ain't know your mom was a twin. So that kind of like, so you might have twins. When you had kids, you might have twins, bro. But that's a long time from now. We ain't going to talk about that right now. We going to hold that off for a long time. We're going to make sure you're a good man first before you start thinking about having children. Before you have those twins, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to have twins. I'm telling you that now. So when you have them and you know, me and you talking on the phone, it's going to be crazy to be talking to 25-year-old Ramson. That's going to be wild to me. That's another thing that I envision, like seeing a lot of the young kids that I've been around and seeing how they grow and if they move and come back and stuff like that. If I move and come back, we keep in contact with each other just to see where their lives are going, because I feel real positive about their lives. Just about every young person I've been around. Not just because I've been involved, but just that's how I feel. Because that's how we really supposed to feel. Like, even though I know these things go on with our young people, I still envision, like, you're going to grow old. You're going to be 40, 50, 60 years old. That's how life is going to go. It's not going to be short. We're not doing that. That's not what we're thinking about. So another thing that and this just reminded me. So, yeah, I think I said, I was in school and everything. I go to CCP, I'm for behavior health. And I'm walking in the hall with one of my classmates because we was having a conversation in our class. Have an intro to trauma class and then a positive youth development class. Now I'm kind of like a ringer in both of these classes because I already do the work. So, but it is dope to hear other people's experiences, their takes on things, learning things that I didn't know, elaborating on some things. So I'm walking in the hall and I was telling some of the young man I was walking with, who was my classmate, and I was telling them as a part of class, like, some of my experiences with working with youth. And then we in the hallway, and I'm on the way to walk down the steps, and I hear somebody call, Mr. Jarue. So I'm like, who the hell called me Mr. Jarue here? So I turn around. It's one of my students from when I was working at I-Day. And he was going there. And the shit made my day. Because he's a young man that I keep in contact with. We don't talk every day, but We did build a real relationship and a bond. He just told me it was his birthday. Of course, he wanted a cash app. You know, you already know how that goes. So, but it was his birthday, so I respect. He got a 2-year-old son, and he was like, "Yo, man, seeing you really made my day because I haven't told anybody that I'm in school. Like I just been going because I wanted to like get all the way in this joint, make sure that I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do here before I tell anybody anything." And I understood because it's like you don't want to tell everybody you going, and then some things come up, and then it's like that pressure, like I gotta go and I can't. So I think he did it right. Like that was a question of why you ain't tell nobody. You should be happy and tell. But I get it. Like let me get in here and make sure I'm in it. Excuse me, and then I could start telling people. So that was that. That was amazing yesterday. Like, and then it was so funny because he sought me out in the hallway, and I was telling the brother from my class what I was doing, and then he go living proof walking up. So we was discussing some things about organizations and dealing with young folks and all that. So it was a real dope experience. And then having this guy on the show, and then we gonna go to the basketball and all. Like this, what I do for, because anybody that know me knows like I know if I'd have had somebody like me when I was a teenager, a man, giving me direction, showing me how things supposed to go, giving me a certain level of information, I would have never went to prison. And I know people like to believe that everything about our lives is predetermined. No, it's predetermined by you and the decisions you make. But not only the decisions you make, what is the environment around you? Like I talk about so much, people are being engineered to be a certain way. So for you to say that this is the cutter, or this is God's will, and this is what God just wanted, or this is what Jesus, no. There's things happening that's dictating your life that you not playing a part in because you don't know that they're happening. And if I had somebody in my life with the same passion for me that I have for other people, to give me some real direction on what it was to be a man and hone my talents at that age, I would have never went to prison. And I would have still been in this space, but I probably have been doing it as an academic, maybe. Or playing sports. Or working a regular job, but being somebody that's very influential, whatever a regular job is, regular job as in being able to take care of my family. I would probably just be the dude, old head on the block, just trying to get the young boys a couple jewels, finding stuff for them to do, playing sports with them, trying to be a extension to their family in a way where I could help. So when you when you moved, did you want to move? You didn't want to move?
I didn't want to move, but we had to move.
I got you. Y'all had to move. Do you So what have you learned about West Philly other than the basketball courts being a little people want to fight on them all the time? Is there anything you like about West Philly? How about that?
Like is I don't know.
You don't know? You ain't been there long enough? So how's your brother? How's Trey, man?
Trey is good. He just turned 7.
He just turned 7? Trey a little old man a little bit. Trey, because I thought Trey was older than that. But Trey a little old man. Do you and Trey get along?
Yeah.
Y'all do? I don't know how you 11, he's 7, so you like 4 years older than him. Do Trey like to follow you around and stuff? He tries to follow you around?
Yeah, mostly to the store and stuff.
To the store because he know he gonna get something. What about when you be going from West Philly to North Philly with nobody knowing? What about that? Trey be trying to follow you on those missions? My man? Yeah, you out of pocket, bro. You gotta let your mom and them know. You still doing that?
No.
Yeah, you telling the truth?
I'm telling the truth.
All right. That's not good. Your mom don't know where you at, bro. You can't do that to her. All right? I know you be wanting to go and move around and do what you want to do, but you ain't old enough for that yet. You do know that part, right?
Yeah.
Then why the hell are you coming to North Philly and don't nobody know where you at since you know that? You missed this? You missed this? That's why you can't? Whatever, yo. You missed Carlita?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It was a yeah in there. What? What? It was a in there? That is wild, bro. That is so wild. Did you do that on purpose? So what you missed that made you come to the center?
Having fun.
Oh, you had fun at the center?
Yeah, and doing the science experiments and stuff.
Oh, all right. Okay, my man. Doing the science experiment. Am I hard on y'all?
No.
Do you think I'm mean?
No.
I will beat your kid up though. They do understand that part. I think I kicked Ransom out of the center before. I haven't kicked you out of the center? Yes, I have. I definitely kicked you out the center before. When he first started coming, because he just thought it was whatever in the job. Like, bro, get out. You could go home. This is not that type of organization. He wasn't feeling it, but he came back, though. And he acted better, you know what I'm saying? You know, he a kid, though, so I don't mind the bouncing off the wall stuff, but you do need some instruction. So, would you open a center?
Huh?
Would you open a center?
Yeah.
You would? Then what would you do for the young folks in the center? Would it be a center for young people?
Yes.
Okay. And what would you provide in your center?
I would do mostly science.
Oh, the science theme. I like this.
Science. I'm mostly into math, so I'm definitely gonna do math.
You hear my man? Y'all thought he was gonna say music or some basketball or something. He said something, but he could. But even if he's making this up, this is him thinking. See, people could say he getting on here, he faking. He don't really like math. He's saying what Jarue want or Mr. Jarue want to hear. But even if he's thinking, he's like, okay, Mr. Jarue don't want to hear me say basketball, so I'm gonna say math and science. But are you really a science guy? You like experiments and all that type of stuff?
Yeah.
That's dope. And you good at math? If I look at your report card, science and math, you're gonna have a good grade. So what are you working on? What do you struggle with a little bit?
Reading.
Reading. Okay.
Reading and like the social studies part.
Okay. Social studies, reading. Does Miss Carlita help you with that stuff when you come to the center?
Yes.
You don't be wanting to do it though, do you? You got to though, bro. You gotta be able to read. Reading, I know that's fundamental. Now, reading does things for your brain, bro, that other things don't do. Reading increases your concentration. So when we be saying a lot of these young folks got ADHD, whatever, all this stuff, they just kids. If you want me to know, like, and you need to figure out as an adult teacher, how do you hone in that energy so they can learn? So reading is very, very important because, like I said, it builds concentration. And it's something about the way words go in that strengthens the brain. Because you know the brain is a muscle too. It has to be worked out. And you do it by reading. It's something different than watching TV. You can get a lot of information from watching TV, but your brain takes in the written word differently. And that's a fact. Read about it. You know, I love to tell y'all to read about it. Appreciate you. Who that? Y'all know I got bad eyes, so if I can't, you see me doing that. I gotta go and stop playing, get this health care. Black men, take care of your health, man. Stop waiting till we gotta go to urgent care and all that stuff. I'm one of them dudes too, because I feel like I did so much for my body that I'm a little ahead of the game. I'm doing all right, but you still gotta go get your teeth checked, get your eyes checked. You know what I'm saying? Get a physical. Get some reads on your joint, my man. Shout out to Miles. This boy showed me the joint on the phone with all these levels. He don't even know what some of this stuff is. He was just hyped though, like, yo, I got all my shit. You can check all my shit. I'm good. But we have to be more on that. I want to make sure I put that out there, you know, for my brothers. Like, seriously, man, tap into your health. Because I'm visually, you could see that a lot of us are unhealthy. And it comes from a lot of different places, but I just want to be somebody to remind everybody about our health, our mental health. I got a few situations going on right now with my family. You know, I'm really not in a position to be able to do the things that I want to be able to do because, you know, my life has restrictions too. You know, like I told people, like being on parole, I know it may seem like I'm free and I'm doing anything I want to do, but I'm a custody level 1. For anybody who don't understand parole. So your lowest level where you get the most privileges in prison is being a level 2. So when they let you out on parole, that's another privilege because you had to make parole. And now I'm a custody level 1. I had 2 POs because I just got a new PO. This is probably my 7th PO since I've been home. Been home 6 years. And I had 2 people I take my shoes off in my house. I couldn't even tell these motherfuckers to take their shoes off before they came in my crib. Because I'm a custody level 1. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they coming in, guns, telling me that they got to walk behind me, coming up my steps, coming down like, this is in my house that I pay bills at. These 2 women, black women, and they wasn't on no BS, no extra, no nothing. But just by the nature of their job and me being a custody level 1, I couldn't tell them to take their fucking shoes off when they came in my house. Because their whole thing is, nah, we got to be protected. So we kind of run this thing on how it's going to go. The very fact that I got to let you in my house to check my house is more of the custody level 1 shit. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a thing for me. So I want us to always be mindful of the positions that we have in life. But that was a crazy thing for me, having these 2 women come in, 2 black women, and basically tell me what to do in my own crib. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't have been smart to be on some other issue with them. And again, for all intents and purposes, personally, they were very courteous. You know what I'm saying? We had conversation, but it still was a thing like, damn, I can't even, y'all won't even take your fucking shoes off. Walking upstairs in my house, telling me you go first. How am I gonna tell you to go first up your steps? But that's one of them things, that I want, and I always want people to understand. So, with my family and everything, I know they see me, folks see me, not just my family seeing me, and it's like, you could do anything. Nah, I can't. In every situation, I don't have all the tools for. So, I have an issue with mental illness in my family going on. Shit, I'm trying to maintain mine. Because I done been through some actual things that, I compartmentalize a lot of times. And again, I go back to that balance thing, having balance and critical thought and so forth and so on. But, we have an issue with mental health going on in my family right now. I'm trying to affect this in some way, but kind of like my hands is tied. And then it's one of those things that, do I have the tools to even deal with it right now? Because I have a lot of things going on that people don't know are going on. Family included. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be real with you. People be like, why you ain't tell me? And sometimes that's very valid. But sometimes, what am I going to tell you for? You really can't do nothing for me. And I don't really want to vent to you about it. Because then it's like, that's the feeling for me. Like I'm adding something to your plate that you don't need to deal with. So on one end, you can't do nothing for me for real. So basically, it's just me just telling you. And I don't mind telling people stuff, but it's like, because I don't like to have to explain all the time. Because I feel like I've moved in a certain way as a man with a lot of people that why you gotta think negative if it's open space there to think about anything. Why I gotta be negative? Lack of trust, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And then it's like, it's nothing you can really do. And I don't really want to have a conversation. It's like wasted time. So, a person who wants to receive the information can look at it from a different way, but that's how I look at it. So, and then I don't like being questioned. You know what I mean? Because I've had, my track record is real, bro. Like, people could try to project all they want, their own shit. But I know. And you know. And most people know. So, check on your health, man. My brothers, my sisters, a person who make a joke like a poppy gut and all that. Like, that's not a good thing. That gut health is very important, man. Very. So, that's another dope thing about the basketball thing, too. I get to run around and be in a certain type of shape. And I do enjoy it. So, how is this going to work? Like, we're going to the basketball court, and then where are you going afterwards? You going home?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you looking at Carlita? You ain't coming to my crib. That's over. Nobody can stay at my house no more. Nope. Except for Suhana. And that's not even staying at her house. Because that's her house. Wherever I'm at, it's her shit too. Seen my baby today. Yeah. We had a good time too. I got a whole little thing going on. It's cool. I write on it, John. Got to sign it on there and all that. But I seen my baby today. It was amazing. We had fun. She just kept saying Dada. It was dope. So, you know, I feel good, y'all. My man Ransom right here. I love the fact that Ransom answered my questions very directly. He gave me a little bit of insight. So, if you could move anywhere, where would you move? The brain is working. Can y'all see it?
New Jersey?
New Jersey, bro. Hold up, bro. See, this is what happens. Exactly. This is what happens when you are very limited in what you've seen in life. And I understand a big part of that is he's 11. But that don't mean we can't expose our children. And a lot of times we don't have the resources and all that. I get it. But that's one of the reasons why we need to push for more exposure for our children. Because my man just told me New Jersey is the destination that he would go, with the whole world being a part of this. He ain't even watching enough what I used to watch when I was upstate that made me feel like I was a world traveler. Outside of reading the books and stuff like that, I used to Anthony Bourdain. He was a chef and he used to go all over the world trying local cuisine, like indigenous cuisine. And, you know, there's a lot of dope shows, man. I got to see a lot of different things and added to the stuff that I was reading. And it made me like I got to go to Singapore. Because I've seen a lot on Singapore. I don't have time to go into it, but that was just something. I'm definitely going to go to the continent. That's multiple places on the continent. The Caribbean is a foregone conclusion. But I want to go to Singapore. And, you know, probably get, you know, live there for maybe like a month or two. Because that's another thing. Like the traveling plans, I know this is kind of like a lofty thing, but it's like, can you spend 2 weeks or more places? Like this 5-day, 7-day thing is dope and you get the experiences. But can you be somewhere for a month? Because your life is a long life. You could spend a month in a different place from the time you 21 on up. Probably younger than that. A month in each place that's a good joint. You really get to see. You might a couple places you really ain't gonna want to leave once you gonna get into that routine of like, I'm here, I'm there. This is my spot. So I'm gonna get that off in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking about living long lives. So New Jersey, do you have a place in Jersey? You know any places in Jersey?
No.
So what made you say New Jersey before we wrap it up?
Because I think it's on there.
You been there?
Yeah.
We got family over there?
No, I went there for my cousin's birthday.
Ah, so he does have a connection to this experience in Jersey. 'Cause I'm like, how did Jersey come out? You need to go down south or something like Florida. I used to go down South Carolina.
From Texas, right?
Who from Texas?
Like your mom, like where y'all from? Texas.
Y'all from Texas? And your pop is Liberian, right? You said Liberian, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't you tell me he was from Africa, man? Was you lying to me?
I'm not lying. He is from Africa.
He from Africa. Because Africa is a continent, not a country. So he's I think you said Liberia. So you Liberian? That ain't nothing but repatriated at black folk from America anyway. We could tell that story at another time. So listen, right? I appreciate my man being on the show. My man Real Zanson, 11 years old. Like North Philly versus West Philly. Uptown, he ain't say nothing about it. No shout, no shade. Excuse me, no shade to Uptown. But he had more fun than North Philly. For all of y'all who think it's so unsafe for the kids, because y'all watching the news and thinking one thing that happens in one part of the city is like the whole city is on fire. Look at the statistics. We're down 30%. So, this is PSA, Philly Service Announcement. Tuesday Takeover Tuesday. We on at 4 p.m. now, too, y'all. 4 to 5. Glockaware Radio. Shout out to my brother, too. Always being patient with this brother. Me. I'm talking about being patient with me. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the cannons. Nick, I got to get with you. We got to put that joint together. I could talk about it at another time after we put it together. You know, we about to go hoop, y'all. You ready to go hoop?
Yeah.
That's what we doing out here. We out. Let's go. We got to hurry up. It's time.